It's been months since the Hamas terror attack in Israel, but the war in Gaza rages on. And even though ground zero is thousands of miles away, the emotional impact of the conflict is being felt across the United States, including right here in northern Michigan. However, when people use that conflict to justify acts of hate and violence, Mark Totten, the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Michigan, steps in and shuts it down immediately.
We've seen a pretty significant rise in hate incidents and hate crimes across the United States.
According to FBI data, hate crimes against Jewish people have increased by 37% over the last year, reaching the highest number in 3 decades and the second highest number ever recorded. In fact, of the thousands of reported anti-religion hate crimes, anti-Jewish hate accounts for 50% of them.
We've seen, certainly nationally, some hate incidents against Muslims or Arabs as well. And so, we are going to hold perpetrators accountable wherever we find them. Right now, we have 2 cases, both which happen to involve anti-Semitism.
One of those cases is 23-year-old Nathan Whedon of Houghton. Whedon will be facing a jury trial on January 22nd for allegedly defacing a Jewish temple in Hancock with neo-Nazi symbols. The second, Sean Paitella of Pickford, who was arrested for planning a mass shooting at a synagogue in East Lansing.
We caught that case early. That's exactly what we want to do. We prevented the atrocity from happening. And, that's the ideal situation for us.
Paitella pleaded guilty and is awaiting sentencing. Totten tells me that Paitella's case shines a spotlight on the gun violence that is plaguing the nation.
Now, we are living in a moment where we have an unprecedented number of guns. Many of them are illegal. Some, of course, are legal, but many of them are illegal. And they are on our streets. They are in the hands of adults. They are not safe and secure where they should be all the time. And sometimes they're in the hands of juveniles as well. We've seen many young people killed across Michigan just this year.
For the first time in history, gun violence is the #1 cause of death for kids in America, an epidemic Totten vows to fight every day. He recently brought charges against Avis Coward out of East Lansing, alleging that his unsecured gun led to the death of a 2-year-old child. Other cases are stopped before tragedy strikes, like the case of Torres Burnett of Benton Harbor, who was sentenced to 70 months for importing machine gun devices from China and handing them out to members of his street gang. Or the case of 29-year-old Casey Johnson of Muskegon, who will serve 7.5 years for stealing and illegally possessing firearms.
And we're going to continue to find those cases. And if there's a case that involves the death of a child and it makes sense for us to charge and bring to the table the longer penalties that the federal government can do, then we're ready to do that.
Whether it's hate crimes or gun violence, Totten wants people to think twice before committing the crime, because he says if they do, he will work diligently to put them behind bars for a very long time.